Good morning, my wizards. It's Dev from Mtg. We like it a magic, you know by now. And let's not waste any time. Let's get right down to it. I'm going to give you my Ravnica Allegiance preview card. Now, I've told you before, I've been pretty excited about this card since I first saw it like 2 weeks ago. I'm super jazzed about it because not only is it a fun, unique card, but it's a mill build around, and I can predict that it might actually end up being the single most sold card in all of Ravnica Allegiance. You intrigued yet? I thought so. So let's go ahead and look at Persistent Petitioners right here. 2 mana, 1 and a blue for a 1/3 human advisor. You can pay 1 and tap it to have target player put the top card of their library into their graveyard. And you can tap 4 untapped advisors you control to have target player put the top 12 cards of their library into their graveyard. But we're not done. You notice I'm blocking off some text here. We're going to experience this card all at the same time, you guys. Now, this last bit of text is a deck can have any number of cards named Persistent Petitioners. So it's one of these, and it's not black. All the other creatures we've ever seen with that bit of text in particular on them have all been black. Most of them have been rats, but there's also Shadowborn Apostle. We don't talk too much about Shadowborn Apostle, but this is a whole new world. And it's common. Check that out. You can actually play this in Pauper and Standard Pauper if you want to. That's a thing they do on Magic Arena, so that'll be a real fun deck to make. And just pause to appreciate the flavor here, because I think it's a win. You know, just one of these guys is kind of annoying, but once you get 4 signatures on the petition, it starts getting really maddening, and they can't deal with it. You know, these activists are a serious problem for the opponent, but it doesn't have to be the opponent. It's one cool thing I like about the card is if you're in the mood to mill yourself, you can do that too. So if you're trying to reanimate or just dump a bunch of instants and sorceries in your graveyard, that's a thing people do nowadays. This is definitely something that you can consider. Maybe you just want to mill yourself and hit all the creeping chills and narcomoebas in your deck. This is definitely a consideration. There's also a cool little combo, if you want to call it that, with Imperial Recruiter. It's probably the best advisor to pair this up with because it helps you go get more copies of Petitioner. Like, you can play Grand Arbiter Augustin or Council of the Absolute, and both of these have a chance at making your Petitioners cost only 1 blue mana. But don't forget that Minister of Inquiries is also an advisor, and it also helps mill the opponent, so you might want to take a look at that. This is just a super cool card. Like, this is maybe the coolest exclusive preview that Wizards has ever given me. You know, it's the first not black creature like this, and I think that's just a really unique thing about it. Maybe they'll start doing this more often. You know, they just printed Rat Colony in Dominaria a few sets ago, so I don't know, maybe they're looking to explore the design space. We'll actually see this printed on a creature more and more often. Who knows? But if anything, I'm just glad to get the first non-black one. It's kind of one of the first ones, period. You know, it's kind of ironic that we actually had less than a playset worth of these kinds of creatures before this one came out. This is actually the 4th. And, for what it's worth, cards like this actually typically sell really well. That's why I made that cryptic comment at the beginning of the video that this might be, at the end of the day, the most purchased card in this entire set. Did you know Rat Colony is consistently on the top 10 cards sold every single week list? You know, it's because any number of, copies can be played of it, so it tends to sell a lot of copies. Same thing with the card like this. So I guess that's another unique distinction for something like this. If I'm looking to stretch reasons I should be excited for having been given this card. But honestly, I don't have to stretch too much. The card is just really, really cool. And in some ways, it's just, again, in terms of like fun factor and just coolness, which I know is kind of nebulous, but still, let me have it. This is maybe the coolest card in the entire set. So thanks, Wizards, for giving this one to me. And I hope that if you enjoy the content, you've never seen me somehow before, that you consider subscribing or at the very least liking the video to make sure that it ends up in more recommended feeds and more people know about this ridiculous card. So I'm pretty sure I'm done for now, though, but I'm not going to give you the whole spiel. You guys probably, in some cases, some of you went to bed right after you watched my last super late spoiler video. You're waking up to me now. I don't want to overexpose or anything, so I guess I'll just see you guys tonight. There's one more spoiler video for Thursday, and then Friday they're doing the dump. We'll know what the entire set's going to be, so just a couple of videos as far as spoiler seasons left. Then we got decks, and then we got the top 25, the pre-release guide. There's a lot of stuff. Make sure you're subscribed, and I think that I'm done. I just said I wasn't going to do the YouTube stuff, and here I am. But in any case, if you enjoyed the content or the cat, do the YouTube things, and I'll catch you cats later. I'm Dev from The Place. Thanks for watching, my wizards. Spread love and be kind.